2025, we are about to start a new year, and we have a notion of making all these plans, and in the end, they never work because God is king at the end of the day. And we just always have these resolutions. We plan, or I would love to do this. I mean, look at 2020. For me, it's a good example. I was so excited by 2020, and I thought it's another leap year. Many beautiful things are going to happen. The number agrees. 2020, oh, it looks beautiful. We're going to have wonderful things happening in our lives. But it brought something else. Many people disappeared before our eyes. Things happened. We're locked down. Some of us were not, but the entire universe was locked down. I mean, whoever thought that in 2020 or in any time during our lifetime something like that would happen? Nobody knew. But I'm imagining, and I know that as mothers, one had to step in, especially. That's when you are challenged. Many were challenged. You had to really show what you are made of as a woman, leading homes, leading families, and you as a woman being strong for the entire family. And some of our sisters even lead young families because of the way life goes. So this year I would like to encourage, that's why I'm here, to at least plant a seed that you will remember when the way gets tough, even in June or sometime in October. Because I think I've been there, done that in my own little way. Lisa was supposed to be, Aisha rather, was supposed to be here to introduce me, but I'm just another girl from next door. I grew up in a township raised by grandparents. I happened. Nobody expected me to happen, but I did happen. So what I'm trying to say by saying that I happened is because some people will say, what am I doing here? Because of those happenings. I was raised by grandparents from very humble beginnings, and I thought my life rather was going to go a certain way, but God took it another way. I was supposed to be an accountant, but suddenly my mind changed. I am doing what I'm doing. It's been 25 years of magic, and I thank God for that, because everything that I do now is to glorify Him through each and everything that I do, especially my work. Because at some point I also thought, what am I doing here? So it's 2025, ladies. I would like to reset our buttons together so that we can go through it. Even if I'm in Tanzania, you are here, somebody's in Cape Town, you know that you are surrounded and backed up by women who are praying for you, who want this year to be the best that it can be, even if there are challenges, because life is not going to be perfect. I'm not promising you magic. I'm promising you support. I'm promising you hope more than anything, because if there's no hope, there's no life. And in God there's hope. Through the little faith that we have, even if it's a mustard seed, you are on track. It will grow, it will germinate, it will become something so wonderful. And God, our God, will take care of you. That's the bottom line. So let's take a glance into our papers. It's just a guideline. I will be elaborating on it, and you can take notes. That's why we've provided the pens. The last page has a box where you can put in your notes. You can write wherever you want it, but it's purely to just serve as a reminder of this day, that after this you are able to go back and reflect on what we are going to talk about this morning, just so that it can be a mark. It's January. That's the best part. It's January. We are starting with the year. We are doing it together. So it's personal growth training. We all want to grow each and every day. There's no ending. Even at the age of 80, we are still growing. I still remember my grandmother at the age of 80, she would say, gosh, if I went to class right now, I would just do magic, you know? So it just shows you that even after 80, you can still get a degree. We've seen on the internet people acquiring their degrees at the age of 80. And there's no arriving. And even in the spiritual journey, we are never going to get there for as long as we are still in the flesh. So this is my way of saying, let's perk up and face this year with hope and faith. So it's about living your best life. What is this best life? Anybody? What does best life look like to you? Anybody? Tell me.
Achieving goals, being happy.
Exactly.
I would say achieving goals.
Precisely. And most importantly, happiness.
And happiness.
Because there's no point in achieving all your goals, but your heart is heavy. You want to be happy no matter what. And that's what we live for, most importantly. So this happiness, we will define it because it also looks different from person to person. Some people will call it happiness, and your happiness is not someone else's happiness. Your goals are not the same as someone else's goals. So we are here to ensure that and of light that you are achieving the best life that you can possibly have this year. And this is, I believe, the basis of, or the recipe for this year, for the cake that I feel we can actually make together, bake and eat of it at the end of the year, comparing notes and say, what have you done, sis? What do you think? Yes, there's going to be challenges, but you will face those challenges feeling strong and motivated. Now, I've curated it for women. What is a woman? A woman, it says, as I've written it, what does it mean to be a woman? There's many definitions of being a woman. First of all, being a woman is a gender. We are another gender to some people. To some person, you are a wife, you are a daughter, you are a sister. There are many roles that we play as a woman. But as a person, who do you regard yourself to be? Lucinda, who are you as a woman?
I'm a sister and a daughter.
Lovely. Mama? Mama at the back, I'm going to ask all of you. I'm going to ask all of you. This is going to get even more interesting. It wasn't the plan. I'm just going with the flow.
I'm a wife. I'm a niece.
Lovely. This is getting exciting. Mama?
I'm a mother and a wife.
Mama?
I'm also a mother and a wife.
I'm a mother and a friend.
Okay.
I'm a sister.
I'm a mother and a wife.
I'm my sister and a daughter.
Lovely.
I'm a daughter, a sister, and an aunt.
I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, and I'm a child.
Love that.
I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, and I am a sister.
I'm a mother and a daughter.
Excellent. Thank you, ladies. And these are only the examples of what I have, what are the possible answers. But as a woman, you said two other things. Please repeat what you said.
Oh, I said I'm a friend and a child of God.
Exactly. So you find that the world has labeled you Nicole. The world has labeled you a sister. Or it happened that within your family setting, you became a sister. To someone else's daughter, you are a friend. But within you, you are a child of God. You've defined yourself to be a child of God. And that's profound because it's by choice that you became a child of God. It's not society that has labeled you a child of God. And that's the most important thing. So when we go on again, it says, at the core, this is now the core that I'm describing. At your core, you are a child of God. It's you are as an individual with your own identity, personality, and many layers and values. So in this case, your values have steered you to becoming a child of God. We all have different values. We all have we are individuals. So our individuality is the most important thing that we need to own, that we need to be unapologetic about, that we need to be strong for, that we need to be to refuse for anybody to change. Now, when we get to this, it says, you know, those values would be different from person to person. What are your values? Lovely lady. It's okay. Anybody who would like to answer this question? Just shoot. There's no right and wrong. Anybody?
I value integrity.
Wonderful. Anybody else? That's important. Because a person, let alone a woman without integrity, can never function in this world. There's no dignity in no integrity. Because one's integrity takes them a long way. In business, in everything that you do, in all relationships, you need to be or to have integrity. Anybody else?
Respect.
Absolutely. Respect. If you cannot respect your neighbor, if you cannot respect your fellow man, then you are failing. Anything else?
Honesty.
Exactly. Those are a few examples of a concoction and character of a good woman. This is now that what defines this individuality of a woman, this personality, this character that is important, that makes you a whole woman. Now, becoming the woman. I wrote the woman because this is now it's not what society has painted you to be. It's what we are defining now as this woman, this particular woman that you want everybody to perceive you to be. What kind of that woman would you like to be? Please define that woman. Anybody? Okay, I'll carry on. So
I'd say I'm a follower of Christ.
yes, exactly. So that's based on her values. It's based on her individuality. She has chosen to follow Christ. Christ wants you personally. He wants your heart. And you cannot do it with a sibling, you cannot do it with a parent. That's an individual decision that you make in life, following Christ. And even when He blesses you, yes, your family will benefit, but it's all through you. You are the channel, you are the vessel. Now this woman, what does she look like? I've written a few points. If you have anything to add, please do so. This is just to give you an idea of the kind of woman that we are talking about, the woman. And this woman is confident. And in this case, Lucinda mentioned a follower of Christ. This confidence, in her case, it comes from knowing God. It comes from liaising with Christ, knowing what the Word of God says, the promises that He gives you, which you become confident in, because when He says, I will be with you, you know, you are confident that He's going to be with you. And I'm actually quoting a song that I absolutely love. And then it says, I will be with you, I will never leave you, I will fight your battles. What more would you need in life? So that brings your confidence. You know who your God is. You know that as a child of God, you are sorted, you are backed up. And God's promises are true. So you live your life in confidence, knowing that you are catered for. There's nothing to worry about. And this is even more of a gift, bigger gift, because people disappoint. They can say, I will do this, and they don't. But God is faithful. His word is true. Now, that's the confidence that we're talking about. You walk in faith, you walk knowing who you are as the woman that you want to be. And you are aligned with the morals. A Christian is not going to go and lie or be disrespectful. We spoke about integrity. We spoke about, so you are now building, this is the woman that you are designing. You have decided that these are the set of morals that you are going to live by. This is the confidence that you have in your God. So this is now a recipe of the woman that you want to be, the woman. And it also says she's independent, she's self-aware. I've just mentioned how disappointing humans can be, and in this case, you are independent in your own way, in this world, while attached and connected to your God, because He's invisible. Everybody sees you doing your thing and succeeding, but they don't know how you do it. And yet, it's this spirituality that actually keeps you going. It's your God that propels you, that gives you resources, that aligns you with the right people and the right situations that will actually help you to do everything that you want to do in life. And you are self-aware, you know who you are. And this self-awareness is what you've just described, saying, I am a child of God. I am is a powerful word because you are sure of who you are. You know who you are. You don't need your sister, you don't need your neighbor, you don't need your sibling, you don't need your parent to even define who you are. You have now upgraded yourself from being a wife, from being a mother, from being a friend, from being a sister, to this woman who knows herself, who has cultivated herself to the point where she has built herself up and acquired all these character traits that make her this powerful woman, the woman who is confident, who is aligned with her morals, who is independent and self-aware. And this woman is powered to make decisions. She makes decisions. She doesn't even have to consult. She just has to even probably just pray about it. And God will guide her into making the right decisions. Because she knows who her God is. She's confident with the God that she has. She just has to consult and say, Lord, guide me. And then it happens. She's empowered. She knows what to do. Even in the darkest hour, she knows what to do. I always say that the biggest weapon that you can have as a woman is being able to face darkness alone. When things are really, really, really bad, you are able to be in that space with your God at 3 a.m. when everybody is asleep and still feel confident, knowing that He's with you. You may not see Him, but He's with you. He's always there. That's the best thing. He never leaves. He is just always there. She knows her worth. She knows her worth. We have been bought by a price. We know our worth. We are worth more than anything in this world. And that's what I was also getting at, that sometimes you may not know what you're worth until the torch is lit. You may feel, why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing if this is where I am in life? I've been praying, I've been doing this, I've had jobs, they're not working, this and that, you name it. We all have a story at the end of the day. Each and every one of us has a story, period. And mind you, all our stories are sobbing. They are all sob stories. That's what I've realized in life. We all have a sob story. If we were to say, what's your story? We all have a sob story. It's a fact. That is one truth about life. We all have a sob story. And sometimes reflecting is painful. It still hurts. It's still heartbreaking. It takes you aback, even one step aback sometimes. But God being God, and the knowledge and the confidence that you have, because you've aligned yourself with the right partner, I feel like I'm preaching. I feel like I'm preaching. But it is what it is, right? God guides at the end of the day. I feel like I'm preaching. But so be it. Okay. Because it looks like this woman. It has to be Christian or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But it is what it is. Anyway. So we all have a story. That's the bottom line. Everybody can go back, or the minute anybody can share. That's why they say many a times that if you were to sit in a room like we are and we put all our problems in one basket, you will always choose yours if you heard someone else's story. You will always go back to, oh, okay, no thanks, I'll stick with mine, no matter how heavy you think they are. It's always the case. You just think, you have a story, it's heavy, but wait until you hear someone else's. Then you realize that, you know what? It's true when he said that he will never give you a challenge that you cannot manage. It's actually very true. And it's so true that he will provide the strength for you to overcome whatever it is. You are okay, no matter how bad it may seem on that day at that time. You are okay. So this woman knows her worth. When you know your worth, you know your worth. You are not going to allow things to pull you down. You are not going to allow anybody to pull you down. You are not going to allow anybody to define who you are, because you already know that you are a child of God. You are confident in the God that you serve. He provides. He's got your back. You have everything in him. You are important. And that is everything that you need to know. And this lady, she's unapologetically herself, regardless of societal standards or pressures. You are not taken up, sideways, or whichever way by the wind. No matter what happens around you, you are strong. And this goes to the young ladies especially. Because when you are young, there's peer pressure. You see your friends doing that, having that, and when you know who you are, and I think also it's also a family background, you are not bothered. You are not bothered because you are strong in the values that have been instilled in you at home. And that's a seed. Because I look back, even as Brenda, I remember how much I hated going to church. I remember how much I loved wearing my pants, and I would have to have a dress to go to church. And I didn't worry I had only 2 dresses, and that was enough because church was not important. 2. For years and years. Because church at that time was not important. And when I look back now, not bad. Not bad. God knew what he was doing. And it's always the case. Sometimes things don't suit us. And then you realize later on that this was important, this was inevitable, this was a process that you had to undergo for a specific reason. And that's the beauty of our God. That even if it's rough, even if it's stormy, even if it's waves that are feeling like they are overwhelming and are going to take you under, there's a reason for all of that too. He's faithful like that. Sometimes it's just to draw your attention. Sometimes it's to strengthen you. Sometimes it's to just to refocus you towards him. It's all for a good reason. And that's all that you need to know more than anything. That's the most important part. That's the beauty of God, because He loves us no matter how we even perceive ourselves, even no matter how worthless we may even think we are, no matter how ineffective we may think we're not, or we are actually. You may think that you are ineffective, you may think that you are not seen, you may think that you are not worthy, you may think that you are less, but in God, you are everything. And I'll never forget years ago someone saying that when He sees you, He looks at you like the only person on this planet. That's crazy to even imagine. I still cannot fathom looking and knowing how many people there are in this planet. But when He looks at you, you are His precious creation. You are His precious daughter. And imagine, what do you become then when you have chosen to follow Him? When you have chosen to be a part of who He is? When you want each and every day to cultivate, to grow, and be that which pleases Him as a person. Imagine the bonuses, the favor, the love, the grace. It's on another level, because we all live by grace, whether you know Him or you do not know Him. The grace of God is upon each and every person that walks this earth, whether they are bad or whether we perceive them bad or not. They are God's children. But what more those who know Him? What more those who choose to do His will each and every day? Imagine that. Imagine that. Now, you become the woman. You have the character. You know who your God is. You know your fringe benefits. You know your fringe benefits. Your company can give you your fringe benefits, but you know you have more. You have more. And those are everlasting. That's the best part. That's the best part. They are everlasting. And as a woman, yes, in this world, we always, especially when I hear a person says, I'm a mother, I just hear, I'm a sacrificer. I'm a slave, because we work, mothers, sisters, the minute you are in that position of giving, you forget about yourself. You completely, I've been working in the industry of women. I've been training ladies in the Serengeti who are from the humblest of beginnings. Some of whom have had to raise families at the early age. And these ladies, they learn to become mothers before their time. They learn to go to bed hungry in order for their siblings to eat. They have to go and get wood. They have to go and cook in open fire with all the smoke, you name it, going on, while they're also trying to study to become the best women that they can be. And it's not always possible. And we all come from different backgrounds. We are privileged in different ways, or unprivileged, or disadvantaged for that matter. Someone who was definitely not disadvantaged mentioned that they are disadvantaged, and I laughed out so loud, because someone else's version of disadvantaged is another definition to someone else. But in my opinion, I thought, my goodness, how can you be disadvantaged having everything that you have? How can you even label yourself disadvantaged? I thought it was funny, but it wasn't funny. Now, as women, and now I'm imagining this lady or young lady that I've just described, are we happy? Are we happy? Are we happy? Are we truly, truly happy? Especially in 2025, with all the social media that is feeding us all sorts of things, with all our times consumed by all sorts of things. I mean, we all lead different lives. But are we truly, truly happy?